Hello and welcome to Unfrazzle with me, Louise Miller. If you're a solo business owner and you have a big, exciting vision and loads of ideas that you want to get out in the world but without drowning in a sea of overwhelm, then this is the podcast for you. Each week I'll be sharing bite-sized insights to help you stop faffing and stay focused so you can make your brilliant ideas happen and make a bigger impact in the world. It's time to step away from the hustle and find a kinder, more sustainable approach to productivity. So grab yourself a cuppa and let's get started. Back in 2019, I asked the good people of the internet to tell me the first thing they thought of when they heard the word slow productivity. And I use that phrase a lot in my head because it's a concept that I love and believe in, but I have held back from using it out in the open. And apparently my instinct to keep it quiet, certainly back then, was bang on. Because an overwhelming majority of those who replied had a really negative response to the idea of slow productivity, with comments including words like behind, disorganised, missed deadlines, panic, ineffective. And obviously that is not what I mean when I'm talking about slow productivity. So times have changed since I originally asked the question, and I suspect that more people will be on board with the idea than were 5 years ago. But in case this concept is a new thing to you, or if you think that slow productivity sounds like a bad thing, I want to take a moment just to share what slow productivity means and doesn't mean to me. So to me, slow productivity does not mean moving at a snail's pace. Instead, it means moving with intention, finding the pace that feels good to you and is sustainable in the long term. And sometimes that will mean feeling totally on it and ticking things off your to-do list with gusto. Other times it might mean giving yourself a little more space. And that's okay, right? Slow productivity is about understanding that you are not a productivity robot. So another thing that slow productivity doesn't mean is that you're never going to get anything done. What it means is making an intentional choice about the thing that you're working on and then bringing a mindful focus as you get that thing done. So, choosing to sit down and write an email to your list, for example, and then focusing on that until it's done without just quickly checking your email or popping into LinkedIn. And because you're not a robot and modern culture and technology are messing with all of our attention spans, that is often easier said than done. But if you can practice bringing that mindful focus to your daily tasks, you will get them done more quickly. If you've heard the phrase slow is smooth and smooth is fast, then that is what I'm talking about here. And last but not least, slow productivity does not mean leaving your ambition for yourself and your business at the door. We're being told repeatedly that we have to hustle if we want to succeed in business. And yes, we do have to take bold, courageous action and we need to do things that stretch us outside of our comfort zone. But that doesn't mean we have to work all of the hours and rush around like a headless chicken, burning ourselves out in the process. So instead, by leaning into slow productivity, you can foster a deep connection with your vision and what success looks like for you. And then you get to invest your precious time, energy and attention into taking the action that will really move the needle for you in your business. And you also get to create a life in which you're able to enjoy the journey, right? Celebrating your wins and enjoying your success now, not just when you reach the next big milestone. So what do you think? Are you on board with this idea of slow productivity? And if the word slow is still jarring for you, try replacing it with intentional, because to me they're one and the same thing. But I do understand that many people have a really hard time reframing slow as a good thing. So use the word intentional instead if that helps. But I also just want you to know that adopting this more mindful approach to getting things done isn't easy. So I live in a village in Leicestershire, and a few times a year I jump on a train to London, whether that's for a work thing or just for a fun day out. And every time I step off the train, I notice how easy it is to get swept up in the faster pace. Everyone is in a hurry, and even when I'm in no rush, I find myself picking up speed. And then I start to feel frazzled and kind of buying into that energy of rushing around. And the same thing can happen with our productivity. We perceive that everyone else is further ahead or doing things more quickly, and so we feel that we need to pick up the pace if we want to keep up. But slow productivity isn't about keeping up with everyone else. And let's be honest, right? We never really know what's going on in someone else's life or business, do we? So just to remember, this is about your journey. And I want you to know that when it comes to getting things done, being successful and enjoying your life along the way, you don't have to do everything at 1,000,000 miles an hour and spread yourself so thin that you might break. You can choose to be intentional, to take a step back, to connect in with what you're doing and why you're doing it, and then give that thing that you're working on your full attention and focus. So I love to invite you to try that and see what a difference it can make. And if you are feeling exhausted, frazzled, or worn down by your to-do list, then I would love for you to come and join my mailing list, where you'll find out more about my mindful, sustainable approach to productivity. So I'll pop a link to that in the show notes. I would love to welcome you into my calm corner of the internet. And I hope that this helps, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you for listening to Unfrazzle. Sharing is caring, so if you loved this episode, please share it on your socials or head over to Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts and leave me a review. Not only will I be hugely grateful, your ratings and reviews will help others to find this podcast so that even more people can make their ideas happen. Thanks so much, and see you next time.